Tonight, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Tonight, it's the 512th and final game of the regular season, and we've got a good one between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good...
Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to
Demonstration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. They'll fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away, because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it. But otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Third and long, they'll look to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Taking on the midfield logo. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
Going to give this time to the tailback. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure to just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on it.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And what keyed their victory? the pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. That'll go as a 39-yard punt. Give him 9 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Miami set to take over. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Here's Richardson throwing on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see. Just 1 play resulting in the touchdown. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Throwing again. Holloway. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
2nd and 20. Off play action. Holloway. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Looking to throw. Holloway. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cohen. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy, but let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
On second down now, it's Turner. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 48 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Came up about a yard short, but I can't help it, Brandon. I love it when the big guy gets the football and he tries to battle his way forward. There's something about those guys carrying the ball.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Touchdown run, and the Dolphins head on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing, and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it, it's scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better? The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They'll run on first down. McCann. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. Now a give, right side. McCann looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This will be fielded at the 17. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Miami's offense set and ready to go. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here this first half. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here, because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd down, McCann. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 3rd down, McCann. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
The Ravens send their punter out now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 43. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches. And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
On 3rd down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Well, they were looking to pick up the 1st down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it is 42-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Now a throw here, hauled in. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on a kick for a 6th time tonight. Fielded at the 33. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does that. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. So not only is that his third touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be a second down.
And it's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made them pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
On second down now, McCann. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On second down, McCann. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Holloway. And that'll be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he completes it to Cohen. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Richardson now on 1st and 10. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there. On his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Now for the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play. And they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
To throw on second down. Holloway. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. To throw is Richardson on first down. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. So a one-handed grab in the end zone. Nothing much more rewarding than that for a guy catching it.
Not at all. And with what we just saw there, that type of a one-handed catch, what's next? Maybe they go up and almost Velcro with their jersey in the ball. That's about all that's left. That play, simply spectacular.
So a one-handed grab in the end zone, not much more impressive than that. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him in football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Back to throw again. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They'll look to throw again. Over the middle, it's complete. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Looking to throw on second down. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was the visiting Falcons who were able to come away with the victory. The Falcons had too much talent to finish the way they did, as a Week 17 victory can only get them to 6-10 with one game to go. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Green Bay to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. The Packers had too much talent to finish where they did, as a Week 17 victory could only up their final mark to 6-10 on the year. And finally, a good one scheduled for Monday Night Football between the New York Jets and the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half?
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This taken in at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the third quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. Third and long coming up. They'll keep it on the ground. McCann, and able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
I mean,
that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
91 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Holloway. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. This is brought in at the 21. Room to run at the 50.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to... metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. 2nd and 8 coming up. A handoff as they run the counter play. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 105 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. With touchdown number 27, that ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those two TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
On second down now, McCann. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Taken from just outside the 30. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. That punt return 69 yards. And the Dolphins get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting... blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
3rd quarter action here, this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10. To throw again. Holloway. That is caught by Cohen. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He'll look to set up his blockers. A nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. Miami set to take over. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things.
Oh, and now some space to operate. And some space here. The 20. And he will take it in for the Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen it.
Bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Dolphins have got it. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
On 1st down, Turner. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Now, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching matching up defensively, because to me, it looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here comes the Miami defense. They make their way back onto the field. Forced the fumble last time. Up on the scoreboard. Things going their way.
Things are rocking easy now, and they feel good about themselves, confident, taking the ball away in the last possession. They're going to try and do it again.
So let me ask you, can you be playing free and that can be... The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet, just because I want to wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. They'll keep it on the ground. McCann, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's taken it around the 40. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season, because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time. This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
They'll run on first down. It's Turner, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd down, it's Hamilton. A giant hole up the middle and all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now. And he's only carried the ball 4 times. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, They've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Dolphins are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens ready to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On 1st and 10, Holloway. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back to throw. Holloway. He finds his man. Complete. That's Cohen.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Looking to throw. Holloway. Over the middle, complete. That's Cohen. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Cohen. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Back to throw. Holloway. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. He couldn't get away there on
third down, the pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
All day, every day, any day.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, check back, back six. Bandit.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hamilton. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. On first down, it's Hamilton, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And to give this time to the tailback. And he will be brought down, but a 1st and goal coming up as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll be... Again at the 25. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, Not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun. Holloway. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And taken right on the 30. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum for what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point attempt to come here. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Dolphins, they have indeed reached a perfect 16-0, but now still one game remains before they join the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to finish a regular season unbeaten.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.